Hey everyone, I'm going to go ahead and do a 3 month postpartum update. I haven't actually done an official postpartum update yet since Cooper has been born, and there's been quite a few things that I've been thinking of that my body has been changing and things that haven't happened yet. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do an update. I think I'll probably do another one at 6 months, and then that'll probably be it. I'm hoping to be feeling back to myself by 6 months, but we'll see what happens. Um, so far since having Cooper, I have not had any menstrual cycles yet. I thought pretty early on that I may have started a menstrual cycle after having him, but it was just my body adjusting after having him, and it wasn't a menstrual cycle at all. I have had cramping about like once a month, kind of like, as if I would be getting a menstrual cycle. Not quite as intense or anything, but my body has, it's just adjusting, and sometimes it cramps more, and other times I don't have any at all. And I think another thing that kind of adds to the cramping is just breastfeeding, because I noticed that when Cooper's like going through a growth spurt and he's eating more constantly for a couple days in a row, that can sometimes bring on a little bit of cramping. But for the most part, I don't have, much pain or anything at all. I'm really doing pretty good. I am starting to get feeling back in my C-section area, like around where my scar is. For a while, I could not feel from like my C-section scar to my belly button. I could like it was all like almost completely numb. Like I could not feel hardly anything. It was kind of a weird feeling to have it be so numb. But I'm starting to get more feeling back. My stomach, like the bottom of my stomach to my belly button, is still a little bit numb. I can't feel it fully, but it's starting to come back a little bit, so that's nice. Hopefully it will come back completely, because I don't know, I don't really like that. It kind of like creeps me out a little bit to not really be able to feel my stomach very well. And as far as hair loss goes, I did not have any with Colton. I had a decent bit with Hudson. Um, and with Cooper, I have not had any. I've actually had less hair loss than usual since having Cooper. So that's kind of interesting as to how that has gone with each child. Now, I don't know. I could start having hair loss again at some point, but as it goes right now, I have had less hair loss than usual. So that's nice to have. I'm finally like growing in some more of my hair since having Hudson, because with Hudson, you would be able to see like it's starting to bald a little bit on my sides from my hair coming out. But now that's all starting to grow back nicer since having Cooper. I'm trying to think of everything because I don't have a list to go off of. As far as my weight goes, I don't actually know how much I weigh. I don't have a scale right now. So the last time I was weighed was at my 6 week appointment. And I was 18 pounds away from my pre-pregnancy weight at that point. And I'm going to guess that I'm probably about the same, maybe a couple pounds less. I don't really know. Breastfeeding for me has not brought on great weight loss. I know I've heard that some women lose a significant amount of weight after they finish breastfeeding. Some will lose it while they're breastfeeding, and it just kind of varies. I'm hoping that maybe it'll all drop off by the time I'm hoping that it'll drop off before I'm done breastfeeding, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Breastfeeding really doesn't seem to have affected my weight loss for the better at all. So, I mean, that stinks, but at the same time, I'm not breastfeeding to lose weight. I'm breastfeeding to nourish my baby. So, breastfeeding is going well. I now totally understand why a lot of women will refer to it as a breastfeeding journey, because bumps come up constantly. It's not like you don't just learn how to breastfeed and your baby learns how to latch and then you're golden. Like, there are so many little bumps and things that can happen along the way. And I've definitely learned that this time around with Cooper. I feel like I've just gained more experience with each child that I've had with breastfeeding. Um, and I'm very grateful for that because now Cooper is a little over 3 months and we're doing good. He is exclusively breastfed as he has been. The only time that he had a little bit of formula was in the beginning when he had his tongue tie and I couldn't get him to nurse. My chest was so sore. I was cracked and very just, it was not good. I couldn't have him nurse. He wouldn't nurse properly because of his tongue tie, and my milk hadn't come in yet. So for like a day or I think 2 days, he had little squirts of formula, and then since then, he has been off of it and been exclusively breastfed. So I'm really grateful for that, and I'm really proud to be able to say that because it has been a lot of work. It has not been an easy journey so far. I've spent a lot of time with him, helping him latch better, and thankfully now everything is going pretty good lately. Like I said, there are little bumps that'll come up, and I can definitely tell when he's going through a growth spurt because there are still some days where for like a couple days in a row he'll be nursing pretty much constantly and it gets really exhausting. But it's been going well. My milk supply has come in very full and I'm really grateful for that. I don't pump very often anymore. I will occasionally pump at night after he finishes eating just to keep stowing away a little bit in the freezer. I like to have it on hand just because it gives me a little bit of peace of mind just to have a little bit of a stash. And then as well, if he decides he's going to wean himself off nursing sooner than I would like, sooner than the year mark, I like to have a little bit of stash of breast milk so that he can have breast milk for a little bit more of an extended time before having to, I'm hoping that I won't have to use formula, but we'll see. I mean, it's going well, so I don't want to talk into the future. I don't like to talk too much about it in general, really, because it's like, it almost seems like as soon as you think like, oh yeah, I've got it down, this is good, like something else pops up. So I just, by this time, like I've said, I've learned that it's definitely a journey. It's not something that you just learn how to do and then you're golden. Unfortunately, there are plenty of things that can come up and be obstacles in your way. But I feel much better prepared to handle those things now, just with a little bit more experience. And I don't know, it's going good so far. And I think that's really about it for my update for how things are going postpartum. Emotionally, I guess I'll talk about emotionally. I feel like I'm doing really well emotionally since having Cooper. I don't feel like I've had any baby blues at all whatsoever. I feel like any emotions that I've had are not because I've had Cooper. It's just because, sometimes things are hard and sometimes I'm a little bit more emotional, but I don't feel any like I'm any extra emotional because of having Cooper. Like I don't feel like I've had any of the baby blues, thankfully, or anything like that. Um, Life throws its ups and downs, and I feel like I've done pretty well with going through it. I definitely miss family, and it's been hard adjusting to living in a new state, and especially a state that's so crowded. I really hate how much traffic is here. And not really knowing anybody. It's hard. It can be really overwhelming sometimes. Taking care of 3 kids. I have a 4-year-old, an almost 2-year-old, and a 3-month-old, and it can be really overwhelming. All boys and lots of high energy. So it's a lot to keep up with, and I don't have an outlet right now, really. The most time that I get to myself is to go take a bath for 15 minutes. So it can get overwhelming sometimes, but really I feel like with how overwhelming it gets and how hard it can get, I really feel like I'm handling it really well. So all thanks to God for that. And like I said, I think that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions for me, anything that I didn't cover, go ahead and leave them in a comment down below. I plan on doing Cooper's update really soon. Things have been really hectic lately. And it's going to be another late day for Chris at work. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I can get that filmed today as well and uploaded. I have a grocery haul to go up, and I'm hoping to get a family video up soon as well. But we'll see how things go. So that's going to be it for the update, and I will talk to you later.